Three. Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Rusty from Porky's Corner, a voice of hardcore boxing. Can I just point out to all them people that keep emailing me and leaving comments, oh, Porky, it's a boxing channel. It started as a boxing channel. It's now a boxing channel, which we do the videos, what the minimum I have to do, and we do other things. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. All right? But loads of people are saying, oh, it's good to do other things. You get a few that complain. I can't please everybody. It's a bit like when I go out for a drink and say, what you having, what you having? They go, oh, Flash Harry. And if I go out and buy a drink and sit down, they go, oh, you're tight. So I can't win, Terry, can I? Either way.
Mate, stick to boxing, mate.
Yeah, no, I should do, shouldn't I? There's a lot gone on since we last spoke. Has Rico gone on a Bosman to Ultratech? Because we had Rico on. Is he swerving me?
No. Saw him the other day. He's in good form. I mean, he's definitely ready for the winter. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I've got him a skipping rope for Christmas somewhere in Chad. Rico, give me a ring and I'll send it you with him if you'll be.
What, a Porky's Corner branded skipping rope?
Oh, I never thought of that. We could sell them, couldn't we?
Mate, you know what you should have done? I wish you had done this, right? You should have just done loads of before and after pictures and just started selling like all kinds of mad shakes.
I've got some before and after pictures here, but I don't want to scare people's children. Mate, let's dive straight in. The story of the week, obviously, because we know these people, we've met them, whether we get on with them now or not. Steffi Bull's come out with begging bowl. He wants Natasha Jonas fight for Terry Harper. What's your take on it all now? Because they've got a hard mandatory now, haven't they?
Who's got a hard mandatory? Terry Harper.
Terry's got a tough mandatory, yeah.
So it's the height of arrogance, right? Could go back to when they fought. When did they fight? Was it Super Feather they fought? So like 130, 135?
Yeah, might have been.
What was that? A draw?
It would a draw, but
Natasha won, right?
Won by 3 rounds. It's 2-3 rounds. Yeah.
A comfortable win. I thought Natasha Jonas was punching holes.
She coasted, didn't she?
Yeah, and so they, you know, I mean, standard keep the money in matchroom thing, and it was the disrespect that went towards Natasha Jonas afterwards that I didn't like. If Harper got the draw and said, "Look, fair's fair. We need to do a rematch. Happy to do the rematch. Let's get it on."
Yeah.
And Steffi had said all of that, I think we would have had this fight at 154. But they were scumbags about it. You know what Steffi's like, disrespectful about everybody, talks nonsense. He's like a poor man's really ginger Eddie Hearn, isn't he? That's what he really is. Just bargain basement, not even little, like Netto, old school Netto, 3p for a tin of fruit cocktail. Remember that? Netto was like 3p a tin of fruit cocktail, 22p for a tin of tuna. I'm sure that wasn't tuna, but that might have been rat. And that's what Steffi Bull is, a rat. And him going around Joe Gallagher now with that begging bowl. What does he think Joe's going to say? What, Joe's just going to forget the last few years? No. Joe will say, you could give me all the money and all the gold in the Bank of England. The answer is still no. Yeah? Because Joe knows that they've put Harper in no man's land. She's eaten her way up, so she'll never get back down to 130, 135 to fight Baumgardner, which is the rematch she really should be chasing. So she can't get back down to do that. And she's not going to go up and fight Clarissa Shields because she'll get slapped from pillar to post.
Unless he cashes her out with Shields fight.
It's not even a cash out, really.
So Natasha Jonas, he might be thinking in his head, Steffi, oh, it's a 50-50 if we have a different game plan. It's a viable option for him, but there's been that much bad blood. And don't forget, Joe Gallagher tried to cut Eddie tried to cut Joe's legs off, didn't he, by blocking his fighters, didn't he, for over a year and that, and people were leaving him, weren't they? And Joe's bounced back, hasn't he?
Yeah, Joe, look, the fight's not happening. Like, it doesn't matter what Steffi says, and he can have his little whispering campaign on Twitter, like the little rat that he is. He can do all of that stuff. The fight's not happening. And that's going to be a big blow to his ego because he's basically just got Harper sat there at 154. You can't really go down because there's no one to fight down there, and you're gonna, he's wasted it.
It's a shame actually because it would have been a good fight if they'd rematched it back then because there was a bit of beef, wasn't there, between the camps and that. But now they've gone in different directions, and it looks to me like one's been iced, hasn't she? And she didn't want to fight this tough mandatory, and she didn't rematch Tasha straight away. So if she vacates this belt she's got now that she won off Dennis's fighter, they're going to look like cowards, aren't they? And silly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just think, you reap what you sow, right? In boxing, here's the thing, and this is why I love WWE, Russ. In the WWE, they always sit there and go, leave the money in there. Yeah. So that's why they never beef publicly. Do you know what I mean? It's always we've got to draw money. And that helps you behave yourself and you manage yourself accordingly. That's what Steffi should have done. And this is not just in general. Steffi Bull just needs to shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a low-level trainer in a backwoods gym in the middle of nowhere. I mean, who just he's predatory. He doesn't even do the real training. I mean, they got the real guys down there who do the training. He's just there. I mean, that's all he is. He's just there.
Ray Doyle does all training for Terry Harper. Ray Doyle trained from day one. But when they're on TV, it says Steffi Bull trainer. It's Ray Doyle. Remember the name, Ray Doyle. He's got a Kevin Keegan perm. 2 years ago, he looked like Bruce Willis. Had a hair transplant. Super Ray Doyle. Okay, they're moving on from that then. So Terry Harper looks like John Rambo. Actually going to get down to 140 to fight Katie Taylor. That'll kill her, won't it?
And it's also, mate, what people forget, like when you go up in weight and come back down, it's the physiological changes because your body's got used to being bigger.
Yeah.
And when you get bigger, you become slightly less efficient. So the body relaxes a bit. So you go back down to 140. Yes, you weigh 140, but you're going to operate like you're still a 154 person. That's why it's never really good to go down too much in weight.
Yeah. Okay. Denzel Bentley against Janabek, or however you pronounce it. He didn't disgrace himself, did he?
Mate, people forget he had at most 4 weeks to prepare for that fight. So he went for the Marcus Morrison fight, spoke to him after the Marcus fight, and he was just chilling. And then out of nowhere, the offer for the Janabek fight pops up. And I thought it was crazy, being honest with you. But he backed himself. And I love this about Denzel. He's like another guy from Battersea, right? He's like Howard Eastman.
But Howard Eastman, I was about to say, do you think that, obviously in this era, Howard Eastman would have been a world champion, but he came up against it with Joppy and Bernard Hopkins. Yeah. But Howard Eastman were red hot at the time. He was Frotcher's first sparring partner when he turned pro. And he stuck with him a few years. He said he learned more sparring Howard Eastman than he could, any Tom Dick or Harriet. And he says it were hard, brutal sparring. And this guy put hands on the Cobra. When he first turned pro, we were putting hands on him every week.
Or properly on his mandible. Just putting those knuckles on that mandible of his.
What's mandible mean?
It's jaw, Porky's jaw.
Oh, his jaw is on the. Oh, right. Why don't you just say his beard? Why don't you just say his beard or something? No, I'm not saying. No, but go on, sorry.
But here's the thing I don't understand, Russ. How many times have you been on your show going, when will people take on real fights and real challenges? Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone in boxing says that they're tired of people with padded records.
Yeah.
Denzel Bentley, since the lockdown, has not had a padded record. He's had one of those.
He's worked his way up to position.
Yeah.
Denzel Bentley. I tip my hat to you, kid. I tip my hat to you, mate. You'll never beat helmets. Oh, we don't do helmets now. He is a warrior, Denzel Bentley, and I'm impressed by him.
Hard. Remember all the times like I'd get criticized on here for bigging up my mates, right? That's what people used to say to me.
Yeah.
And I used to tell them, I don't big up my mates. when I tell you someone's got something, I'm not lying. You imagine if he had a bit more time to prepare and maybe a few different sparring partners in camp, Janibek might have been in a bit more trouble. I'm not saying he'd have lost. I'm saying he'd have been in a bit more trouble. But Denzel did the best that he could. And I know we've been exchanging messages since he landed this week. He wouldn't mind the rematch. He thinks there's a lot that he can grow into, whereas he doesn't believe Janibek can do anything different.
He could have a longer camp, couldn't
he? Yeah. Longer camp, better sparring, probably just crisping up the shots a bit. Like they were arcing a lot of the time. Sometimes you just got to throw the punch dead straight. Just control that middle. There's just a couple of small tactical tweaks, and that fight's a lot more competitive.
Do you feel, Terry, that your people like Denzel Bentley, your Howard Eastmans, your Errol Bomber Grahams, people like that, you feel that they're just unlucky? It's all about timing. If Denzel don't win a world title because there's lesser fighters than him that have won world titles from UK, isn't there?
Mate, 17 amateur bouts. That's all he had.
I know. I possibly about 20.
Hey, what's he now? He's not even 25 into his pro career. Nowhere near.
How old is he?
27.
27. I thought about 29, 27. Well, listen, there's still miles on clock for him, isn't there? There's still plenty miles for him to go in the game, isn't there? Yeah. But I'm a fan of his now, Terry. I'm a fan of his.
Yeah. I think everyone in this country should be a fan of his. I put him in that category. Him and like a John Ryder. We should all be fans of those sorts of guys who never turn down a challenge.
And they don't shout their mouths off.
Yeah, don't have undefeated records, but you look at their records, you go, God, he's been in with everyone.
Yeah, he has. Okay, before we finish on Denzel, what level would you say he's at? Well, I'm going to tell you what level I think he's at. I think he's past European level, and he's just a touch below world level, and he just might need another couple of fights, and he's there. What do you think, Terry? That's right.
What? So let's look at some of the top middleweights that are out there right now.
Well, European level or world?
No, world level. Like I think he beats Zerafa.
Yeah.
I think he beats Rob Brandt. I think he beats Murata.
I think he beats Murata, yeah. What about one guy at Mongolia? It will beat Beefy.
That would be interesting because that's just heavy leather on both sides.
Yeah. That's a good fight, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd quite like to see that. I don't think you put him in with a Canelo. I don't think you put him in with Charlo. Avoid those for now because those guys are too seasoned and too polished.
But when you look at Bricktop, what he's done with him and how he's going about his business, Bricktop's back on his perch, isn't he?
Yeah,
we have to give Bricktop credit.
But if you go back to the episode Denzel and I did, and he said it himself, he said, "I don't want tune-up fights. I've had all my tune-up fights. I want big fights. I want challenging fights, things that are going to get me out of bed." And he's been true to his word.
Yeah. Okay. Dalton Smith, Tasha Jonas, It's Big Phrase, and Vidal Riley. Let's give a mention to Russ Gerard and Derek Riley, who's head trainer, obviously, there, and Russ. They've done well with Vidal, and he's 8-0.
Yep. I like Vidal Riley. There's a lot to like about him. He reminds me of those light heavyweights from the 70s in terms of how he actually boxes. He's got a lot of that kind of.
Morris Hope.
No, well, Morris Hope was 6'5", so probably not Morris Hope.
Morris Hope was 6'5", but he was like middleweight.
No. What? No. He was a big man. He was like heavyweight.
Was he? I might have that wrong. I thought Morris Hope were a light middleweight. Let me have a little look on that. I might have got that wrong. I think I've got that right, I might have it wrong though. If he was 6'5", he'd be a giant for a light heavyweight, wouldn't he? And a light middle.
Mate, Fundora's a light middle at 6'6".
Is he? Oh, wait. Oh, is he? What about that? Oh, is it the South African kid who Dennis wanted to put in the front? I forgot his name now. Skinny white kid. Thomas Oosthuizen. He wear a big lanky thing, wasn't he?
Oh, Oosthuizen. Yeah, whatever happened to him?
I don't know. He won IBO, didn't he? But yeah, I see where you're coming from. So you rate him then, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the way he's a because he's a cruiserweight, and you don't see many of them really combination punch the way he does. Really, really quick on his feet, sharp, accurate. Still a lot to do on him,
Junior
but he's
middleweight, Morris Oak, Terry.
Aussie. Ah, my mistake.
No problem. 5'8.5". I know. You're missing about 9 inches, Terry.
Only time in my life that's ever been true, Russ.
Oh, you wish.
I think I meant more. Yeah, I think I meant Morris Core. Is it Morris Core, the guy that trained out of Phil Grant's gym?
Yeah, Morris
Phil
Cole,
Martin's
yeah.
gym. Sorry,
Bill Martin's,
man, I'm having a
He's a
shocker.
mate of Joe's then. Mate of Joe G's.
Almost Joe G.
Joe G knows everybody. He's the man. Look, Gallagher's gym. Look at that, Steffi. That's a proper art. GG. Dalton Smith, he didn't have it all his own way, did he? Like he has been doing, but it was a toughish fight for him, wasn't it? He's made a leap and he won, didn't he?
I think the kid's talented.
Yeah.
Much like Denzel, there's no point in putting him in the tune-up fights. You may as well just put him in rough, let him take some draws, some losses, whatever. He's just a talented kid, and at his weight division now, he's not far off being able to call out those guys like Regis Prograis. So I'm happy for him. You know, often I get a hard time for being critical about that Steel City lot, but no, I'll give him his due. Dawson Smith's good to watch, hell of a boxer, super talented. So you just want to see him now maximize that talent. And hopefully, if he does sign with Sky, which we don't know yet, hopefully they've got the budget to give him the opportunities he deserves.
Yeah, I'm impressed by Dalton Smith. And of course, our good friend Chris Smedley had him for many years, didn't he, when he was very young as a boxer. It's Big Fraze. What's happening with Big Fraze? Where's he heading?
Mate, hard to tell. I don't. Sometimes I think you can be in the amateurs far too long.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that with Frazer Clarke because there are only so many neurons that you can dedicate in your brain to learning how to box. And if all of those have been taken up learning how to box to win an Olympic medal, it's very hard to then come out of that system and learn a completely different way to box. And he's caught between two stools, isn't he? He's tried to be the big 19-stone bruiser, but I don't know if he's that powerful at 19 stone to justify the extra weight. Yeah. And then he started off trying to be a bit slicker, a bit quicker on his feet, and that hasn't worked either. I don't know what the right answer is for Frazer Clarke. But what's worrying is they're not looking to push him too fast. That's the thing that confuses me. I'm like, how are you still talking about your learning? Like, you've been in the GB system since 2010. What is it you're learning? It can't be you can't be learning how to box, right? You can't, because you've tried every possible approach to boxing in 10 years. So what is it? You got to learn how to get stamina? Okay, that's an easy fix. Or you're telling us you got to learn how to cope with the toughness of being a heavyweight. And if that's the case, then it's a worry, because Sokolowski is 85 years old. Like, he's not a young, hungry heavyweight.
He's shot to bits, isn't he, that Sokolowski? You know, Olympic bronze going in with him. I'm not having any of that. Big Fraze, it's Big Fraze. He needs to step up. He needs to be in with somebody like Nathan Gorman. I mean, if Lomachenko can go from Olympics to his second fight, a world title, Fraser can go from Olympics bronze to say his fifth fight to a British eliminator or something like that, can't he? Surely, man. Come on, Big Fraze.
I do, because like I keep saying, Frazer Clarke's a likable guy. He's a lovely guy. But if you're being objective about how far he can go, based on what we've seen right now, getting past British level will be hard. Yeah. And unless a load of people fall by the wayside, it's going to be pretty hard.
Okay.
So I know, for example, in the Sky corridors, there's been a lot of pressure where people have been asking for Frazer Clarke. Like Jamie Shakiva has been asking for the Frazer Clarke fight, but they may delay that for when both guys are more well-known. But people are looking at Frazer Clarke going, I don't mind that fight now.
trying to rush him, aren't they? He's going to dig his heels in, but he's not getting any younger. He's 32 in August, isn't he?
Jeez, wow.
He's 32 next birthday.
Okay. You know, on the side note,
yeah.
Is Martin Bakole the worst managed boxer like on the planet?
Well, he's just beaten Olympic gold medalist, so they can't get him a fight. Who's his manager?
Isn't it Billy Nelson?
Billy, what are you doing, man? He's beating Olympic gold medalist.
Easily, by the way.
Easily from the last Olympics. What are you doing, Billy Nelson? We like you, Billy, but come on. First, have you been paid to park him up, Bill? Because he's quickly turning into a Joe Joyce, isn't he?
Or a Luis Ortiz, where people just don't want it.
Where people don't want that smoke, the Ortiz smoke. Like people don't want the pork smoke.
The smoked pork.
The smoked pork, grilled pork. Should we give Sonny Edwards a little mention? Because I was looking through BoxRec today and he's been a world champion a while now, right? I know he upsets a few people online, but he keeps winning, doesn't he?
Yeah. Look, he's at the point now, you watch him now and you go, now put him in with the Chocolatitos, the Shisha Cats all around the sides. I think he's past that level.
Yeah. I think Cal's outside.
Yeah, I think Sonny Edwards is past the Yafais. Like, I think right now you just put Sonny in with those little guys that generate money, right? Yeah. And look, I don't want to see him lose, so that's not what I'm saying here. But I do want to see him have to plant his feet and dish it out as well. That's what we want to see. Just that thing where he says, "I'm going to show you I've got a bit of heart as well. I can box and I've got heart," and that's what we want to see. Don't want to see him lose. I just want to see him in with people where he can make money, they can all make money, and we can actually be entertained. But he did well over the weekend, man. He was comfortable as hell.
Yeah, good luck to him. Hatton Barrera. Tell you what we're going on there. What's happening? Is that taking money out of boxing fans' pockets, or should we go in small? What's going on
there? I just watched it. I didn't know what the hell it was. I was like, are they going to hit each other hard at any point in this? Or is this just a little move around?
It would have moved around, wasn't it? It would have moved around. It was like a Willie Warburton against whoever. It would, or Elvis Doob. It would have moved around, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You see all the effort Hatton seemed to go through, and you could be suspicious and go, maybe he had some help in cutting weight like that. And Barrera just showed up. Naturally a smaller man, Barrera showed up like he'd been on the beach for a month.
Well, and Darby hanging out and that.
Yeah, it still looked like he could have won that if it had got competitive.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know what Ricky Hatton does it for. I don't know what he does it for, but I think I said this on my pod. I can't understand why I don't like Ricky Hatton doing it, but I like Floyd doing it. And I know they're going to be the smart asses in your comments that go, it's down to skin color. And that's like, well, I don't think it is. It's down to this, Russ. Mayweather's never left the gym from when he was a kid, right? I bet Mayweather now is somewhere close to 150, 253 pounds, right?
Yeah.
If the money was right, he could make welterweight in a month comfortably. Ricky Hatton's a guy who when it came to that sort of lifestyle and conditioning, he just took the piss. So maybe that's what it is for me. It's like, I'm like, this guy took the piss. What's he coming back for? Like, he's not a guy I want to see. Whereas if Carl Froch did something like this, I'd be there for that. If Clinton Woods did something like this, I'm 100% there for that. Because they still look like they train. They still look like they take it seriously.
Do you feel that after Hatton's interview on TalkSport that when they were talking about Floyd versus him in an exhibition, do you think that they'll actually go through with it on Sky on pay-per-view? What is all that about?
Nah, because Mayweather's still a live dog. I don't know if you saw Mayweather fighting on the weekend, right? He was deliberately hitting the gloves of the other guy. He's still got a degree of sharpness and accuracy that's impressive, even though you can see that his legs are starting to go a bit.
Okay. Big Meech, aka Anthony Joshua. Do you feel that he now is parked up for the foreseeable future?
Hey, he's in Dubai having fun at the moment. So that tells you he's not going to start camp probably till like after Christmas. So that means he's not fighting so much. But they'll find him someone that he can prepare for 8 to 10 weeks and beat comfortably. And then he'll just be waiting to see what happens. Look, I still think they'll find a way to make the undisputed happen if that's what's going to happen next. But it's a waste of time now. I don't think we care about undisputed like we did before.
You feel that it's not about belts when you get to a certain level, like Joshua, Wilder, Fury, that we should all forget about all this undisputed chat. Just have the belts, because the fans know who the best is and who should be fighting, shouldn't they? So why do we need belts?
Yeah, Joshua, Usyk, Wilder. Let those three just sort it out amongst themselves, and then let's just get back to people fighting each other again.
Yeah. Okay. Tommy Fury. Big John Fury, big fighting man. I'm a boxer tricks. Let's have a battle royale. What do you reckon? Pop, pop, bang. What
Mate,
happened?
I think mate, you dodged a bullet with that one, mate, because he said he's got the strength of 3 men. You know what I mean?
Well, John.
Yes, you gotta be careful, man. If he gets hold of you, man, it might be curtains.
If he got hold of me, he'd be able to throw me miles, wouldn't he? I'd be like flying through air like a flying saucer. Big John.
Yeah.
When you see me, Big John, give me a big kiss.
I'll say this about John Fury. He knows what's required, right? He knows
to sell a fight.
Yeah, he knows what to do. Yeah, he's clued up on that. He always gets it right because as soon as John Fury does something, he's trending.
Yeah.
Job done. It means that his son doesn't have to do anything. Tommy can just be quiet. He can be a diplomat. He can be the smart one. And John Fury does all the marketing and all the noise. He's a smart man.
Yeah. He's got us all fooled. But the funniest thing I said, well, I'm getting my pension on Monday. I don't think people got the pensions at 59.
What pension has he been paying into, though? I have a feeling he's been in the nick for God knows how many years. So what pension was he paying into?
He lies, doesn't he? Just, he's like that. Pinocchio. He's going to fight Mike Tyson. Mike's a proper fighting man. Not a jumped up bodybuilder like you. Oh, Big John Fury. Where were we? We were out Big JF. Is Lawrence Okoli parked up? Yes or no? Because they're going to go at it in court, aren't they, soon? Ben Shalom, Eddie Hearn, and Lawrence is involved, and Dennis has just he's got lawyers on Ben Shalom, and there's all sorts of flying at Ben Shalom. But he's putting the fights on, isn't he, Ben?
He's trying to make him happen, so you got to give him credit for that.
Amir Khan, Clarissa Shields, Savannah, Amir Khan, Kell Brook, B-Fit Eubank. He's trying to make them happen, things happen, but he's upsetting the old guard, isn't he?
So where do we start with this one?
Well, I feel for Lawrence on this, you know.
So it's a dispute, right? And so here's the problem you've got with Lawrence. You've got to find the money to get him a unification fight.
But you've got billions, haven't you? Because you're Eddie Hearn. You've got billions. And anybody who don't want to fight for Eddie, he just lets them go. He doesn't block them. He's blocking him. So he's gone back on his word.
Yeah, because he knows Lawrence is better off away from the zone. Like, it's a fact. But Lawrence is an asset, right? And then, so think about the problem Lawrence has. Lawrence is with 258. And in Lawrence's head, I imagine he's there going, 258 are pretty much in bed with Matchroom. They do a lot of the Matchroom social media manipulation, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, well, who's looking out for me right now?
Yeah, see where you're coming from.
Because, look, he should, all Lawrence wanted, win a world title, unify, go up to heavyweight. Like, way back when he was looking at who to sign as a manager, I remember saying, don't go with 258 because at some point you may have to fight Joshua.
Might have to do.
Yeah, don't sign with 258 because you might have to fight Joshua. Do you know what I mean? So he's in this horrible position of what do you do? Because look, let's map out Lawrence's career. Maybe you unify your next fight, best case scenario, against a Makabu or someone like that. And then you're going to fight Richard Riakpo in a big domestic dust-up. They'll pay-per-view that one. And then both of you guys are going up to heavyweight. Yeah, because that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
So Hearn knows this. And he's like, I need to keep Lawrence here because when he does go up to heavyweight, that's brilliant. But I've got a queue of people that I have to get world titles for because I promised them. And so Lawrence's unification has to wait. And Lawrence is like, I don't have time to wait. And so it's an absolute mess. And I guess you're realizing that the DAZN chest isn't that big. That war chest isn't what we're told or led to believe it is.
Well, maybe Eddie Hearn hasn't got the readies that he's been saying he's got. I don't know. You want to click on
you don't do shows in Cleveland if you got money, do you?
Well, what happened to Vegas Eddie or the Garden Eddie? Now it's Cleveland or what other place he was trying? Nebraska or something, I don't know. Italy. Well, I thought over boxing war, Vegas and Madison Square Garden and London, and it's obviously is it? It's if you're in Eddie's world. Do you want to click on link 2, pal?
I know, isn't it?